At the moment in this country, Britain, we have industrial farming, and as it were the powers that be, the corporates, the banks, the governments, make a virtue of this. They say this is the future. And what it really means is that you gear the farming to, well, the neoliberal market basically. You try to make it as profitable as possible. What that means is you maximise yield, you minimise costs, and you add value. Maximising yield is not necessarily the best thing to do in the world. Famines are very rarely due to lack of yield, as it were, per se. It's always something else, so that's not really important. Cutting costs is an absolute disaster. I mean, why have we had this series of epidemics in Britain? BSE, foot and mouth, bird flu, now swine flu, in this country. It's ever since the 1970s, one after another, because of cut price husbandry, actually. Not the surveillance isn't there, the proper feeding isn't there, everything. It's just cut price, and it becomes very, very dangerous. Worst of all with the cutting price is throwing people out of work, which means in this country only 1% of people on the land. Agriculture is no longer the kind of job that most people would think of going into, because there aren't the jobs there. It becomes a non-job, although it should probably employ 20% of the people. In the third world, an average of 60% of people work on the land. Countries like India are being encouraged by us to industrialise, which means they would throw half their people out of work. And at the same time that we are planning, as it were, to throw half their people out of work, we run these ludicrous, wars on poverty and that kind of stuff, a few pop concerts to make up for the fact that we've taken away their livelihood and taken away their food supply. It is just crazy. That's what happens if you cut costs. Value adding means that you push the whole thing towards livestock production, so that you feed most of your grain to cattle and so on, in order to increase the price. So this is the nonsense that lies behind industrial farming. It also means, because you're trying to cut costs, that you have to simplify the husbandry. And because you're also cutting down labour, what this means is that you take away the hundreds of thousands of small farms that we used to have, you replace them with a relatively few very, very big units, which are all run by very big machines, lots of industrial chemistry, now biotech. And that's supposed to be modernity. It's actually all it's about is saving money. And the point is that this is not sustainable, and it's very bad for everybody. It's killing the livestock, it's killing the people, it's a disgrace, actually. And it has to be changed radically, and it has to be changed fast, otherwise we're all in trouble.